Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, September 13th, 2018. Read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks has a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you've had a good week so far. I am filming this at about 10 to 9 on Thursday morning, and the futures look to be getting off to a solid green start. So with that, let's get into today's video. If you know me, you know I always start these videos off with a look at the Russell Index. And for that, I use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. And I like to step back and take a look at things on a 5-year monthly time frame. I look at the Russell before I look at any other charts because I want to make sure that I'm always looking at charts in a rising market environment. And for that, I use the Russell as my proxy. So we're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. These are monthly candles, as we've talked about lately. The Russell sort of bottomed back here on this 5-year chart in early 2016 and has been in this nice uptrend ever since. Consolidated here for a little bit around our medium-term line of support. So the orange is medium, the blue is long-term, and this pink is more shorter-term. So you can see the consolidation and then the lift. Here we are so far for the month of September in our September candle. We are following a bullish month of August. Big wide candle with a big wide white body after a couple of months of consolidating. So in reference to the August candle, I always want to kind of keep the prior candle in mind when looking at this month's candle. So here we are in September. I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving. So here's that same orange medium line of support, our pink short-term support area. You can see the way we bounced off, and I use this blue line as my guide, which is the 8-day EMA. I want to see price on the Russell up and over the 8-day, ideally on both the weekly and the daily. So as you can see, looking at these candles on the IWM, the Russell Index, price is up and over the blue on the weekly, but if I swap it over to the daily, you'll see that price closed below the 8-day EMA on the daily chart yesterday. So we'll see we had a nice long wick, which would suggest that price wants to possibly recover that blue line, but until it does, I'm not going to add any new names to my watch list. But in the event that that market strength does come in and we do get a nice candle in the next few days, pushing us back up and over that blue 8-day EMA, I want to show you a past Chart of the Day Cafe pick that I think might be worth keeping an eye on here. And the chart that I wanted to feature for you this morning is an old Chart of the Day Cafe pick. It is VALE, ticker symbol VALE, trades on the New York Stock Exchange. VALE, before I get into the chart, is a huge Brazilian mining company, primarily producing ore pellets, iron ore. They service the steel industry as well as they produce copper, thermal coal, potash, that sort of thing. You know me at Chart of the Day Cafe. I am all about the scores underneath my chart, and I can tell you that VALE continues to have a very nice high value score, along with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 22%. It's got a current PE of 9.23 and a dividend yield of 2.17%. So with that, let's get back to the chart. We are looking at the 5-year monthly chart of VALE. It was originally featured as my Chart of the Day Cafe pick here in May of 2017 as it bounced off this area of support. It's had a beautiful run since then. I've reiterated VALE a number of times. I'll show you that on the smaller 2-year chart, but I just want you to see on this 5-year monthly the beautiful uptrend like the IWM when it hit that bottom in 2016, so did VALE, and it's been in this beautiful uptrend since then. 2018 has seen a lot of consolidation for VALE, as you can see by the monthly candles, but we are right in this area of support, and should the market continue higher from here, I think VALE is worth another look. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 2-year weekly, and I want to show you the times when we've put VALE forward. So initially featured it here as it came into this area of support. You had to be a little patient with it. I think it was on May 25th, 2017, we added it to our watch list, but it's had a beautiful run since then. Mentioned it again here, green circle day, here, green circle day, had some lift, came in, featured it again here, and I am going to feature VALE again here. So I'm going to put a little green circle on the chart. And I want you to note where we are. We're coming into that area of support again. Looks like it's consolidating a little bit here. I'm going to move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 6-month daily. We bounced off my line of support yesterday, so I will be watching for VALE to follow through in the days to come, and I think it's worth keeping an eye on as well. With the beautiful scores underneath it, the dividend yield, if the market does, the IWM and the markets overall recover that 8-day EMA and continue higher, I would suspect that VALE may do the same thing as well. Emphasis on may. I have no idea. The market will do what the market wants to do, but I love the look of this chart and will be watching it myself. Along with the VALE chart, I also like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're looking at the ETF SLX, which is the ETF for the steel space, 5-year monthly chart, like VALE, uptrending, but it's been consolidating through 2018, and it's come back into this area of support, and it may want to lift here. We'll see, but I like the look of this chart and where this ETF is sitting right here. Also want to take a look at XLB, which is the ETF for the materials space. Similarly, on the 5-year monthly, we can see that it's been in this uptrend. Peaked here, has come into this area of support, kind of consolidating and dancing around here a little bit. Here we are for the month of September, but overall uptrend, consolidating. We'll see if it moves higher from here. As well, I also like to go over to FinViz and see if I've got analyst support for my watch list pick. And we are here on the VALE page. You can see that VALE has had some recent upgrades, which is all good. I'm also going to include an article from Zacks. It talks about whether VALE is a good value play for value investors, and it's worth noting that VALE is a Zacks number 2 rated stock, which is buy rated. As well, I like to look at seasonality, and for that I go over to equityclock.com. And here we are looking at the seasonal chart for VALE. You can see that at this time of year, VALE also has seasonality in its favor. No guarantee that it happens this year, but always a good data point to know. And so to quickly recap, I started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note that overall the Russell is in an uptrend with price up and over the 8-day EMA on the weekly chart, but not the daily chart. So I want to see that daily EMA reclaimed before I check this box. So I'm not checking the box because I want to see price up and over the 8-day EMA on both the daily and the weekly. We looked at the 5-year chart for VALE, and we note that overall VALE has been in an uptrend, but it's been consolidating through 2018, and it's now sitting in an area of possible support and price strength continuation. It's all about what the market overall wants to do, so emphasis on possible, but I like the way it's behaving around that trend line. We also looked at the 5-year charts for the SLX, which is the steel ETF, as well as XLB, the materials ETF. We know that VALE has a great value score. It's got a great growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 22%, dividend yield of 2.17%. It does not have the 3 and 8 EMA daily cross that I look for, so this is not checked yet, but it will be in the days ahead should it start to lift here. Seasonality in its favor. We looked at FinViz. It still has a lot of analyst support, and it's currently rated as Zacks number 2 buy rated stock. I'm going to include a Zacks article with today's video. It's got a current PE of 9.23, and it looks as though earnings are going to be on October 25th, 2018. Thank you for watching today's video. As a reminder, they go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.